Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are gonna discuss and analyze the new trailer released by Capcom regarding the longsword in Monster Hunter Rise. So first, let's have a look at the new trailer. And that was it. Let's see now what's new in this trailer. This is the first clip that they show us. This is exactly the special sheath we have in Iceberg. This is the same Spirit Round Slash. And this looks like a new aerial attack, I'm not sure. And of course we couldn't miss the Foresight Slash. Yeah. This is a new move with wire bug, we are gonna discuss it later. So here we can see a special sheath with Ice Slash and then Spirit Blade 2, Spirit Blade 3 and Round Slash. And that's pretty interesting. So basically after Ice Slash, we are gonna combine it directly with Spirit Blade 2, not Spirit Blade 1. And this is the Iceberg Slash clip. As we can see, the delayed hitbox mechanic will return in Iceborne, and that's not something we should be happy about. The hunter is performing the Iceberg Slash on the head of the monster, but the delayed hitbox of the hits goes on the legs. Okay. We also have the same mechanic that confirms the success of the counter. That ting sound plus that purple aura around the hunter. And we can also clearly see the returning issue of the Iceberg Slash. The super long rest animation after the hit. I already explained this issue in depth in my previous video, the Ultimate Iceberg Slash guide. So I'm not gonna explain it again. To put it simply, after you press the button to perform the Iceberg Slash, you have an animation where the hunter is basically standing still, waiting to finish the animation. After that animation you can move it again, but during that period of time you are basically vulnerable to every attack of the monster, and you can't dodge because you are stuck in the animation. Next, we have to talk about the Foresight Slash. Also in Monster Hunter Rise, you'll be able to do the Foresight Slash and combine it with the Round Slash if you time it correctly, of course. If we count the seconds of the counter frames of Foresight Slash, we see that the window is even bigger compared to Iceborne. Now, we don't know if in this case the hunter was using evade window skill, but if not, that means that they actually made it easier to perform the Foresight Slash. And I don't think that was needed. Next, we have a Iceberg Slash combined with something really similar to an Handbreaker, and the game changed the name and now it's called Soaring Kick. Now, except the name which changed, everything else it's pretty similar to what we were used in Iceborne. The Iceberg Slash plus Spirit Thrust plus Handbreaker. This is what we did back in Iceborne. Now you don't have the Spirit Thrust anymore. Instead, you have this wire bug which pulls you in mid-air, and from there you perform the Handbreaker, which is the Soaring Kick now. Now let's focus on the Handbreaker, on the Soaring Kick. The delayed hitbox will return as well on Handbreaker, and the randomness of it as well. In fact, as you can see, here the hunter is performing the Soaring Kick, landing on the head of the monster, but magically one hit is hitting the wing, and so he is receiving 6 hits on the head and 1 on the wing, because the parts of the body you're gonna hit with Handbreaker are gonna be random. Yes, again. Here we have a quick showcase of the Soaring Kick, aka the new Handbreaker. Next we see the new parry for Longsword, which uses the wire bug. But it doesn't work exactly like Critical Juncture of Generation Ultimate. It's not instantaneous, it's a bit slower. In the next clip we find out that you can combine it with Spirit Blade 3 and then Spirit Round Slash. And this is something I appreciate. Finally, the game shows us some really short clips. First, you can see a Foresight Slash, second, Soaring Kick, the third one is a Serene Pose, the new parry, the fourth is another Soaring Kick, and lastly, Spirit Round Slash on the head. And that's it. Of course, they didn't show us all the new moves available for Longsword in Monster Hunter Rise, like the Sakura Slash we saw in a previous trailer, for example. But for the moment, these are the pros and the cons in my opinion. Now, successfully counter with the Iceberg Slash will level up your Spirit gauge. The Ice Slash can now be combined with Spirit Blade 2 instead of Spirit Blade 1, and after the Serene Pose, you can directly combine it with Spirit Blade 3 and then Round Slash. The cons, however, are pretty severe. First, the delay hitbox mechanic will return. Second, the Iceberg Slash rest animation after the hit. And third, the random hits on both the Iceberg Slash and Soaring Kick, which is the new Handbreaker. We still don't know everything about Rise Longsword, of course, like for example, we don't know if Hyper Armor mechanic will return, but for the moment, these are my thoughts. Okay then, the video ends here. If you haven't checked out my Ultimate Iceberg Slash guide yet, I highly recommend you to do it. In January, the Monster Hunter Rise demo will be available, and at that point, we'll be able to see directly if Rise Longsword deserves the effort to be mastered or not. As always, thanks for the huge support you guys are giving me, and see you in the next one. Bye!